So there's a scene, because I'm not as old as him. Obviously, he's my father. Why would I be as old as him?
Exactly.
But Emperor's New Groove. Actually, I probably worded it wrong because that might not be the name of the movie. That might be the name of the show.
Yeah, that was definitely a
Either
series
way,
that you watched growing up. The Emperor's New Groove.
there, there's something to do with Cusco in the Emperor's New Groove or whatever the movie was actually called, to where there's multiple adult jokes within it. To where Gronk, pull the lever, Gronk, and he pulls the lever.
Yeah.
There's a reference in the movie to where Gronk is under a little tent. The little tent is over his pelvic area, which would be adult for pitching a tent.
I don't remember that episode.
It wasn't an episode. It was in the movie.
Oh, so it wasn't in the cartoon. Wasn't in the weekend.
It was in the movie. There are adult jokes slipped into kids' movies.
Always.
Because they have to have something for the adults to be interested in. It can't be all childish, right?
Well, we were watching the Looney Tunes last weekend, and me and Rama both realized, this is actually really violent. Yeah, but we didn't realize this growing up. And we were literally watching the Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam, Roadrunner. Yeah. It's very violent. Yeah, it is not exactly kid friendly if you stop and think about what they're doing, but it's portrayed in a way that
if you want
is
100%, 100% proof that not all cartoons are made for kids, look at the really old cartoons, like the 50s and 60s cartoons. There's a whole cartoon about a man driving, and it shows it can read when you stick your hand out the window, and the dude's going straight arm for left and bent arm for right. Yeah. And the car's I'm turning left in a male voice. And when he bends it up, it's I'm turning right in a male voice. And then it even works for women drivers. And she's got her arm out the window and she's flexing her wrist and pointing all sorts of directions. And it's going, left, right, straight, forward, all that the whole way through.
So it was
That's an adult joke.
So you're saying it was sexist?
I mean, it was, right. But it was also hilarious.
I've never seen that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll show you the short later. A bunch of stuff like that is not normal. There even, you remember Porky the Pig, obviously, because you're older than me.
Yes.
So Porky the Pig, there is an older version of Porky the Pig to where he hits his hand with a hammer and he goes, son of a gun. And then he goes, ha ha ha, you thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you? That is in an actual cartoon from the 50s.
I've never seen that one.
It is a legit line. There's also a cartoon from the same thing to where Mickey Mouse is making the holes in the cheese with his schmackle. Cartoons have changed over the years, but just because they changed doesn't mean anime is the exact same all the way through. There's adult and there's kid versions of it. It's just, it is what it is.
There's where I actually have the problem. No, seriously, listen. Stop and listen for just a second. Cartoons is what Americans grew up with. Cartoons. We're talking Looney Tunes. We're talking Hanna-Barbera, Disney cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons. It doesn't matter. Okay. All of those. That's what we grew up with. But then when you say anime or anime, and everybody's like, well, why are you weird and you're watching Japanese cartoons? I don't understand the problem. What is the point? It's still the same thing.
It's a Western difference.
Exactly. But here's the actual deal. The anime that we watch and we love is deeper than any cartoon that is Americanized, Westernized, period.
100.
From the animation aspect, from the graphical aspect, just like the design aspect, to the story aspect, because this is why I've loved them for years. They are so much deeper, and I've told your mama this. So, like, I would rather watch a good anime than a bad movie or an okay movie, because I do not care. In anime, there is something about it. They're able to do something that just makes you interested, and they can do these things to where you, in your mind, are like, this isn't real, but there's a very real element to what is happening, but it's not like live action, which is why, and
Right.
I'll go just a tad further and then I'll stop. But live action anime always seems to suck. I haven't seen
Oh,
one.
absolutely.
I haven't seen one
Proof.
good live action anime because they cannot do it.
Netflix Cowboy Bebop flopped.
That is a perfect example. I watched it because I'm like, all right,
I watched it. It was horrible.
It
It
wasn't.
was so bad.
It wasn't good. It was okay if I like totally ignore the fact that I had watched the anime.